Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Dave with the Movement Mindset Podcast. You can see Chris is not with us today. He's currently away. We want to make sure that we're continuing to give you guys value and information to help you along with your fitness journey. So we're going to be talking about what kid or teen workout and fitness training should look like. So this is a pretty hot topic just because there are so many different avenues you can go. And there's so many people promising very sport-specific results that maybe isn't the best option for your kid at a young age. Okay, so just to kind of give you my background in this, besides playing sports growing up, which a lot of people have done, after college, I coached track and field with Nas, my wife. You probably know her. On that track team, it was high school. That track team had never been to nationals. Every year we were there. After the first year, we went to nationals. There was D1 schools recruiting girls, and they had never every year, and that wasn't done. NAS broke most of the school records with the kids. What else happened? Essentially, there was a whole bunch of new things that changed there because we hit new levels with kids because we switched the whole program and changed how they're doing strength and conditioning and also their training on the track. So I have a little bit of background in this, and I also have a lot of good friends that this is what they specialize in. There's a lot of people selling snake oil in that industry where here we are, we're doing all this sport-specific speed training all the time with a bunch of 13-year-olds. And all the research shows that it's probably not the best option for you. Okay, so one of the things we want to look at with kids and teens, they're developing and growing. So whether that's their body literally growing, their bone structure getting bigger, and then their muscles and ligaments need to catch up. And then usually the last part that catches up is their nervous system and their coordination. So every time a kid hits a growth spurt, we have to kind of restart and reevaluate how they're moving. All their leverage points change. Their brain doesn't even literally know where their hand is. That's why when they reach for stuff, they knock it over because everything has changed. All right. Imagine if you woke up and all of a sudden your hand's just a little bit further away because your bone structure grew, or your leverage in your legs are different. Think about how different you would squat, run, move, all those things. So when we're looking at kids and teens, we want to make sure that we understand that when they go through a growth spurt, we have to go back over and start assessment, make sure they're moving well. All right. The second mistake we see a lot with kids and teens is people just do sports specific all the time. Oh, my kid's a soccer player. He plays soccer 12 months a year, which is a whole nother topic because injury rates are through the roof because we do sport specific and only do one sport all year round, where the multi-sport athletes actually have way less injuries. So then we start going to sprint, agility camps, change of direction camps, where they're doing more of the same things that they're doing in practice, maybe just at a higher intensity, and now we're dosing with more of the same movement patterns. What we really want to do with people, I'm not saying that stuff is terrible for you. I'm just saying that if that's all we do is sport specific, and then we're actually doing our sport, which guess what? Our practice for our sport is also sport specific. The more likely we're going to be to get injured or also burning out as an athlete. Okay. Most of us probably know the kid who was really, really good in high school, focused on the one sport, went to college and completely burnt out. You never saw him again. There's a little bit of a joke. Just like they say, the B students work for the C students because the C students couldn't get the job, so they started their own business type of thing. Sometimes you'll see the person who was really, really good in high school, kind of naturally gifted, wasn't really, really good in college because their talent couldn't outwork their lack of effort to get better at the sport as they got older. All right. Now, if someone who is pretty good in high school and it's based on them working hard, working on skills, they sometimes do a lot better in college because they have that work ethic along with it. So there's something with that's kind of interesting. But getting back to the idea of getting too focused and too sport specific, we end up only doing the same movement patterns, the same stresses. We don't do any of the things that make the total body stronger. And so injury rates skyrocket. Especially in soccer, believe it or not. It's funny, people don't think about it that way. They think hockey, football, lacrosse, but the amount of busted up knees, different things going on in soccer, it kind of amazes people, especially in, like women's soccer. It's surprising. Part of that is the people have a tendency not to think that they need any type of strength training or cross training to go with it, and they only do sport specific or the sport itself. So if you're a youth athlete, a kid, a teen, so let's say you're middle school, high school, your workouts outside of your sport should be more kind of general total body, right? By getting your whole body stronger, you're going to have longevity in your sport, and then it's easier to build on those sport specific skills. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be like a power lifter or a bodybuilder, but it's just if you focus on some general fitness, GPP stuff, it carries over the sport very, very well. Okay. Even growing up playing hockey, we're a decent team. Our coach would do all sorts of different training, and it wasn't really sport specific, but it really just, it's a kind of a funny term, but the goal was to bulletproof our bodies so we can handle our sport specific training, right? Because your sport specific training is hard. You're trying to get better at a competitive sport where the goal is to win. It's not just to go have a good time and work out. There's a different goal with it. So if you're someone that has a kid or teen, I would really not focus on crazy sport specific all year round. It's okay to do that occasionally to work on kind of gaps in skill, but I would mostly focus on total body GPP. That's why I kind of mixed modal CrossFit style workouts, things like that actually do very, very well with youth who play sports, because as their general fitness gets better, it's a lot easier to get specific at your sport. Because if you don't have the capacity to handle your practices and your sport specific stuff, then eventually you're going to burn out or you're not going to do well at it. So if I was coaching a soccer kid, a football kid, a hockey kid, they kind of have different capacities that they need, different time zones. But if I cross train them, and yes, hey, we do lift, we do body weight stuff, we run, we row, we do different cross training things, we do lateral movements, we work on the things that we know they're not getting in practice, it actually elevates their ability in their sport. Because if you have all the skills, all the sport specific stuff, and then you add fitness to it, you're the person that's not tired at the end of the game. You're the person that's getting hurt less. You're the person that's recovering better between practices. And it really changes what a kid and teen athlete can do. All right. We did this with the track team. We took some of the sprinters that maybe their fitness wasn't good, or even the longer sprints like 800. And we did CrossFit with them 2 to 3 days a week, backed off their running a little bit, got them overall fitter, and then we brought their running up. And what do you know? The 4x8 team went to nationals. Actually, the girl who was not on the 4x8 team that ran the least for the first half of the year, that did skill work and then cross-trained, she ended up being the person on the team at nationals. Kind of crazy. She didn't have the natural speed or the natural talent, but we raised her capacity to handle fitness and to handle work at the gym and on the track. And bam, what do you know, at the end of the season, she was doing well. And guess what? She wasn't hurt during the season. She came into the season hurt because all she did was run. And she came out of the season very strong and ready to go. So if you have a kid or teen athlete, I highly recommend, one, that you make sure when they hit growth spurts, you slow them down, or the coach slows them down, because all their jumping, change of direction mechanics have changed. And two, you do more cross training than you think they should do. Don't just stick with sport specific. Get some cross training in there. There's really, really good sport coaches that they do sport training, and you look at it, they're doing mixed modal CrossFit style stuff with their kids, making sure they're working on change of direction stuff, but hitting all the areas that their sport doesn't. All right. Because what we don't want to do is have our kids only do sport specific. So they get all the overuse injuries, they get busted up knees. We want to make sure that long term they enjoy that sport and they can keep developing if there are someone that's looking to play at a higher level in college and everything. All right. So hope that helps. Again, this is Dave with the Movement Mindset Podcast, and I will see you at the gym.